Alrighty. So, welcome to Oklahoma 2021. Um, this has been the home of my three voter challenge. Originally, I started off on um, wow, I can't even remember the name of it. It's a map that Rusty Money Game is playing on right now, or one of the maps that he's playing on. Lazy Acres. I had a really good gameplay on that map, and when I came up with the three motor challenge, my original thumbnail was done on Lazy Acres, and I got started with it, and then I updated my PC and I lost the game save. So when I went to redo it, I just chose to do this map. So um, the rules were basically it was pretty simple. So you had three motors, right? Three drivable vehicles is another way of looking at it. And right here is my three. Um, I have my harvester, tractor, and 18 wheeler. So I had to earn $1 million above what I started with, and I believe I started with around $40,000. Now, uh, currently you can see I have $2.2 million, so I have surpassed that. The other thing that I had to do was maintain an animal pen for 10 days. And I had to fill it up and then maintain it for 10 days. Okay. So the pen had to be equal to something that was base game. So I went with a lone oak cow barn. Originally, I started out with what was on the map, and then I had a couple issues with it that were my fault. So I put this one down and filled it up to 500 cows, and then from there I had to go 10 days. Now, it's always been my understanding that when you fill it up, as far as the water, straw, food bar, if you fill those bars up, that it lasts 10 days. And I have definitely done that. There was a couple times at the beginning where I filled it up even after that, so I know I have passed 10 days, or at least I feel in my heart that I have. I actually lost track how many days I went, but in my heart I honestly feel like I have done 10 days. So um, at some point during this live stream, the food should run out. The 500 cows they use up over, God, I want to say it's around 120 or 150,000 liters of TMR a day. So we're not. Yeah, I'll go ahead and we'll look up the best price and do it that way. So I'm just hopefully we will finish this up today. That's what I'm looking at. And the selling station is the highest one right here. So at this point, of course, the money doesn't matter. But I'm anxious. I'm ready to be done with this so that I can start the Beat the Reaper challenge. There's a lot of people that have I think they have questions about it, but they haven't got the hint. There's a big hint in the rules that are on Rusty Money Game's Discord. So I'm anxious to get that started so that I can talk more about it or elaborate more about it. 133,000. It's pretty good. Oh, uh, so the other day I was playing on September 11th, and I painted my stuff that I could at the moment to did like a red, white, and blue theme to kind of remember the people that we lost. Not only civilians, but especially the emergency workers and just everybody. So we're not going to put a damper on this. We're going to have a good time. We might spend some money, and I may buy a little bit of equipment just to kind of see how what kind of starting kit I could come up with for another challenge, or not a challenge, but another gameplay. So that might be like a little bonus. One of the bigger rules in this challenge was that you could not use real time. Now, to me, I like playing on 5 times speed, right? And I do that because I travel, like when I'm harvesting and stuff like that, I'm doing 24, 26 miles an hour. So if somebody's trying to play realistic and they're going minute for minute at 6 miles an hour, right? And I'm doing 5 times the speed, I kind of feel like if you multiply that 6 miles an hour times 5, my 24 hours is going to go by quicker. But I also feel like we'll be close to being able to harvest the same amount of stuff if we were to use like the same equipment and run for the same amount of time. So I kind of feel like starting out, when you have, let's say you got one field, yeah, you can go run some contracts and stuff, but is that realistic to run contracts back to back to back to back? And to be honest with you, I could care less because I don't play realistic. But anyway, I made the time to where you couldn't run real time, because it seems like there's a cliche or whatever, there's never enough time in the day kind of thing. And I just wanted it to be different, you know. I ran my time up faster a couple times. I'd find myself at the end of the day, being like 4 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. Hey trucker, how you doing? So I would find myself at the end of the day without anything to do, and I just wasn't interested in doing contracts on this challenge. So usually if I ran it faster than 5, that was the reason. And then let's see, so we got the 3 motors, the money, the animals, and the time. I believe you were able to do it in multiplayer, but you couldn't buy another tractor, or at least another tractor to have for somebody else. If you did multiplayer, you still had to maintain the 3 vehicles. So if you had 4 people in the game, one person would not be driving a vehicle. Contracts were allowed, but you had to own the equipment. You couldn't lease or borrow any equipment. You actually had to own it. And then there was another one that stood out in my mind as why. I'll hook up to this and I'll pull up the rules real quick. With it being the finale, I think it would be cool to actually go over the rules. I'm doing good. Well, except for hitting the wrong button here. Boom. Alright, get off of the thing here. Come on. If it wasn't for that thing not having collisions on the edges, I wouldn't be using that. Go sell the manure. Just try to test run of your Reaper challenge. I have a plan. So, have you recently read the rules that are on the Discord? If you haven't, you might want to go back and read the rules that are on the Discord and pay attention to the caps, the capital letters. There is one specific sentence that is in caps. Yeah, it was edited. Somebody had a. So let me put it this way: that challenge is about having fun, and that's all it's about. So there's a couple things that were worded a specific way, and there was a couple. There were a couple rules that were kind of left a little bit vague. Now, some people may interpret it a certain way, but if you thought about it and it was done like that for a reason. Just pay attention to the caps. So, just a little hint or a little bit of instruction, and Yeah, it's it's a bit of a trick and a treat as far as the caps are concerned. So, all right, we're not. I don't think I'm going to do any land, and that should take care of the animals for today. So we're at 84,000, and I'm actually. Let's see here. We're gonna take this one. But I'm not here to nitpick people over at challenge. I'll have to have a look. Is it the one on Rusty's Discord? Yes. Yeah. If you look up, if you go into the section on his Discord where it says, I think it's FS19 challenges. And if you hold on a second, I'll pull it up real quick. It's the one that shows all the rules to the challenges. When did they change? It's been probably a week. And it wasn't a change. It was just something that was added to as like a hint. Hey Harley, how you doing? So if we go to Rusty Money Gaming, it's the part underneath the challenges where it says FS19 Discord challenges. If you click on that, and then you scroll up to where I have the Reaper thing, there is one specific page or one line that is in caps. And so far, only 5 people have done what it suggests. But I'm not here to nitpick over the stuff. All right, where's the Discord? It is about having fun, and that is part of it. Yeah, just be sure and check that out. There, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Dun dun dun. We're gonna go up to the mystery farm. Hopefully it won't affect my ideas. I doubt it would. It could, but not in a bad way. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and run this at 15. So all we're waiting on is the food to run out. I'm not gonna go past 15. So So what do you have left to do on this challenge? So technically, I don't have anything left to do. Okay. Um, I believe that I have already done it, but um, let me get up here and I'll stop the harvester and pull up the screen. So I've always heard that when you fill up the food for your animals, okay, um, if you look at the water, the straw, and then the three different types of food that you can give them, if you fill that up, that's enough for 10 days. So the rule with the animal was that the pen had to be full. It had to at least be equal to something in base game, and you had to maintain it for 10 days. So if you filled that stuff up for at least once, right, and then let it run out, then you've gone 10 days with your animals. As long as you did it when it was full. Now, if you did it at 200, like if I did it at 200 cows, and then I add 300 on top of that, it's not gonna maintain a full pen for 10 days. That's for sure. But if your pen was full and then you filled those bars up, that's supposed to be enough for 10 days, which is what you have to maintain the pen for. And I know that I filled it up twice at the beginning. Like I got my 500 cows and then I filled it up. The next day I added more TMR to it. I added straw, I think maybe twice after that. But it was basically the biggest things was that I ran three motors, the exact same vehicles the whole time, and I have earned over $1 million with what I started, and I have maintained the cows for 10 days. So I honestly feel like I've done it for 10 days. I'm just gonna actually let it run out. So, and then that'll be, in my eyes, that'll be the end of it. So, it's like at the beginning of the stream, I don't know if you was in here or not, but I stated that I honestly feel like I have done it. In my heart, I feel like I've already completed it. But I just won't, I'm going to run the TMR out, and at some point during this day, that'll be done. There's supposed to be some buildings right here. Check this out. I'm right up here. See these buildings? There's supposed to be some buildings right there, but they're not. And it may be that this is actual aerial, what they call it, typography. Sounds good to me. I knew you had been doing it for a while. Yeah. And it's been a fun one. I miss some of the stuff, with only having 3 motors. I miss like having my Chevy pickup truck for whatever reason. I miss the Sadie, the cleaning lady. Hey Bruce, how you doing? It was an eye opener to me to see some of the stuff that I used that I kind of took for granted. It's a video game. How can you really take it for granted? But anyway, there was things that I used that I didn't realize how dependent I was on them. I would have liked to have been able to use that chrome mower. But, again, there's another mower. So, now I think what I'm going to do as far as the game is concerned, I'm going to check about every hour till that TMR actually runs out. Hey Bruce, did you end up running the ATS last night? I got to the point about 9:45. I was yawning so much it was almost like nonstop yawning. So I just went to bed. Yeah, yeah. I figured that if you did, I was gonna tell you today and apologize for not being able to hang in there, but I just got so sleepy. I couldn't do it. I wonder. I don't think I can do one of those other. I was tired and Matt was streaming, so you didn't. Yeah, I didn't see that he. I saw he was streaming in Discord, but I didn't know that he was actually streaming on YouTube. Usually before I lay down, I'll check YouTube and see if there's something I want to watch or if somebody's streaming or something like that I can just kind of. So, trucker, uh, before I answer that question, you need to go to Discord and read the caps. That is a huge part of that question that you just asked me. Not to be rude, but it is a little trick and treat kind of thing going on. So uh, and it falls back on the thing with that challenge is meant to be fun. Matt was streaming just as I got up for bed. Okay. Yeah, maybe I just didn't. Maybe YouTube just didn't want me to get the notification. And I don't know why I'm driving in the grass with this truck. That makes no sense. Well, you could have got up for bed. I mean, you could have been laying on the couch and then got up to go to move to the bed, you know. But I understand what you were saying. So let me ask y'all your opinion. Um, my video series is on this map, right? Now it's a big farm, big farm, right? Um, or it's going to be a big to do, whatever. So it's taking place. It's going to be all 4 of these fields. These for sure. And then down in here also. And I may end up using like all this right here. All this right here is going to be part of it, I think. Except for 32 and 33. Right? So all this right here is going to be part of the... no, I'm not going to use that farm. Because it's being on both sides. But anyway, whatever I end up using, it's going to be a lot. But I thought about taking 17, 18, and 19. Making a little horseshoe. And doing like a second kind of let's play with small equipment. You know, like just small, like I'd probably have to do a medium-sized tractor because of like the required horsepower for like plows or something. And then the fields are not big, so have like two different let's plays going on. So this down here, all this big stuff is the Oklahoma Adventures, is what I'm calling that. And I may do this one being like something new, like Rusty's something new. I don't know if it's a challenge or, where he's suggesting to try new stuff. So like the Oklahoma Adventures is going to be the big thing. And then I thought about like coming up with a different name for the small farm. To where you had like 2 different gameplays going on the same map. Because I think, Harley, you got 3 different farms, don't you? And see, I could come down here and do this area down in here. Or like this right here would be good. Like 58, 59, like these fields right here would be good. These 56 and 57 to me would be more like a medium sized field, but alright, let's see where we stand on the food. 55,000. But I'd have to come up, like I'll figure out a name like to call it. Or what I could do is get my wife to do a farm. she's starting to have issues with her farm, and I don't know if it's because of the number of the mods that we have going on now, or um, I'm just not sure. Like, why did that not pick up? Yeah, have you guys ever noticed, um, like if you have a long gameplay, like little things start to happen. Um, what would be a good example? Like something disappearing, or um, she's getting more lag. It's starting to lag more. Um, and what's interesting to me is that she hasn't gained any new equipment over the past couple months. She has small fields. Really does have a few that would probably work for that. Take it you wouldn't want to do a vintage survival up there. Maybe just older equipment like the TX32 harvester or similar aged equipment. Um, I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to do a survival thing. Um, I did a survival. Absolutely started from scratch. Now I wasn't. Man, why is that? I wasn't streaming when I did that, but it was enough for me to know that that's not something I'd want to do on again. So the I kind of like the idea of having my wife come in and play on the map, like when she plays like play on this map also, kind of do her own thing, and I can be off doing my thing. So then there was one thought. Let me let's see if I got that picture. I have a couple of thoughts to be honest with you, but let me see if I got this one picture that I took. Uh, yeah. So here's some rusty equipment, right? I got the tractor that farm some guy uses, not the tractor, but the truck. Uh, there's a couple of trucks, a couple old trucks, an old car, two old tractors, a planter. The wagon on there absolutely sucks, right? Um, harvester, with I got both headers for it. There's a corn header and a the grain header, the old plow. And what I thought about was possibly working working to um, as I get money, like to replace this with new smaller equipment. That was kind of my idea, but So that was one idea. The other idea was using stuff that I have not used before, regardless of how big or small it is. That was one of Rusty's a suggestion. I like doing 19 or 22 hours, something like that. Um, Now I've used all that Rusty equipment before. I did it on a was it rustic acres or rusty acres, rusty farm, something like that. Not rustic acres, but the one that's real small. I was like, rusty equipment on a rusty farm kind of thing, and thought it was funny, and it's pretty cool. But it didn't take me long to figure out that trailer's messed up. Old to new type series, yeah. Out with the old, in with the new. But the new be like not only like new equipment is like like brand new or whatever, but new as in stuff that I've never used before, or at least stuff that I don't have a habit of using. I think that would be cool. And the out with the old, in with the new, I actually thought about that as far as something different, right? So I could probably incorporate it into that, but the out with the old, in with the new had the. I was thinking about that as far as like Rusty's challenge, or I don't think it's a challenge where you try new stuff. So I was gonna build my kit like I normally like my go-to kind of starting kit, right? And um, as I earn money, replace that stuff with stuff that I've never used before. So I'm taking my old reliable go-to kit and redoing it, making it new stuff. All right. I think that would be cool to something, just something to. Um, I can't see doing the whole farm explore challenge. Yeah. Uh, I can't see doing this whole map. I did the that 100% challenge on a 4x map, and the only way that I could see playing that on a continuous basis and using the entire map is you just start like at field one and work your way till you get to the last field, right? And then go back and do playing all the fields and and that that, I don't know, that just doesn't interest me. I used to, well, up until now, I have I've only maintained the fields that I could work in one day. So I could like plow one day, if I had to plow, plant one day, the next day harvest. Um, and usually what I do is plant one day and harvest the next, and then plant and harvest and plant and I go back and forth. And um, I've been thinking a lot over the past month. I've been trying to change it up to where it's not the exact same thing that I've been doing for the past 4 months. So, which is why I did the whole map. It's why I did this with just the three motors. Um, just trying to make it different a little bit. And somebody told me I did start the buy the map challenge, but it's on a 2x map, which 1/4 of it is water. Hey, welcome back, Bruce. So the buying for me, buying the map wasn't that big of a deal. Um, and it's because I use a cow pen that has 500 cows. You know, and on the particular map that I was on, the price of manure was jacked up like crazy. Um, so on here, when I sell manure, I get, I don't know, maybe around 100,000, right? For one day of 500 cows, the amount of manure that 500 cows put off in one day, I would sell it and I get like 100,000. Okay. Now on Delta Junction, I'd go and sell the same amount of manure using Missy B slurry point, right? Slurry yard, and I would get like 500,000. And I only did that at the beginning. I only did it one time, and I was like, man, this is too much like cheating. So I took the slurry yard off of the map, and I was using a smaller one or a different one that paid kind of like what I was used to. Um, but I realized that they jacked the price of the manure up on that map. And then when I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm ready for this challenge to be over with, I put Missy B's slurry yard back out, and told myself, hey, that's the way they made the map. Then I don't care. I'm going to use it. So it's not my fault they jacked it up. And it's kind of like Alien Gems, like where he's got like the transportation jobs pay more, or the buy here, sell here kind of thing. And another thing that I thought about doing with this right here, right, was maybe just buying uh like one field and turn it into kind of like on Lincoln Creek when you start with the 28,000 left. On Lincoln Creek, when you start off in this building, and there's a sign out there that's like Superior Harvesting. It's not like a farm name. It almost makes me think that it was meant to be like a um, kind of like a contract, like you did work like it's contracts. You didn't actually farm for yourself, like you were kind of like higher that. That was just my thought with how you spawn into that map, and the way that sign, how that sign read. Um, so I thought about doing, like, if I did another farm on here, do it where I only did contracts on that one. Yeah, you could still do like the small equipment, the old equipment, whatever, but only do contracts. I don't know. Yeah, I did turn it down. I did turn it down for a little while. It was only when I got to, well, like, I was ready to move on, that I I pulled that back out, because that map is so easy to make money on, and Farm Sim 19 in period, especially if you use mods. Um, and I'm not talking about crazy mods. I'm just talking about like your normal mods that you get out of the mod hub, right? It's too easy to make money on. You know, if you can't make money playing normal economy, now I don't do seasons and what's the other one? Uh, Precision farming. I don't do the realistic, 100% realistic or whatever. That's a joke if you ask me, but anyway, to each their own. But it's too easy to make money, and especially on that Delta Junction map, because the salmon, you could cut down, I think it was like 3 trees to make your pallets. I think it was 3 trees a day, which is nothing. And then you take the pallets that you end up making and diesel fuel, and you go do the salmon plant. And I was making 120, 130,000 every day just off of salmon. I had a I have a Volvo loader that holds 200,000. The bucket holds 200,000 liters, and then the semi truck holds 1 million. I think it's 1 million. You go fill that up with gravel or rock, and you just make a killing. It wasn't. But I just didn't want. I don't know. I didn't want to take the time to do all that, and was like, screw it. So something else was think it's too much. You overtake it. Yeah, I play on normal. No, so here I'll show you. I'll show you what my settings normally are. They're pretty easy. Uh, Economy's normal. Traffic's on. Dirt slow. Blah, blah. Helpers can't do anything, and then all the other stuff is turned off. Now, on the other Oklahoma gameplay, I'm using crop destruction, periodic plowing, and lime. So the weeds and the withering is turned off, but the plant growth and the economy are both on normal. And I don't think there's a big difference between the plant growth. I think there's a difference between playing fast growth and slow. Some maps do make it easy to make money, as do the mods in the mod hub. It can ruin the game if you're not careful. It can, um, and I guess for me it depends on what I'm doing. Okay, I'm getting to the point to where I'm liking coming out of the field to load up a to dump, like dumping this into that truck. Um, I used to not like that, so I would make my harvesters hold 1,000,000 liters, and I was fine with it. But after you do it for 3 or 4 months in a row, it kind of, and then you go to where you're either filling up a grain cart or filling up a truck one. It's just it's a nice change. Um, the the stuff that holds 65 million liters. Uh, I have a mower that will mow 800 meters wide. Um, yeah, it's cool, but for me, it kind of took away from it. I liked it for a little bit, and then I realized like, this ain't, you know, it just, I don't know. I just want to change it up. So for me to go from a trailer that holds 10 million down to 250,000 is a huge jump for me. And I'm not. Um, I mentioned the 65 million liters and stuff. Um, Specifically, that's Beck's mods, and I'm not knocking her mods. They are fun. You know, um, I wouldn't have a problem with starting up a new map and using her mods and playing on it at all. But along with that, I would want to have another map where I was playing a little bit more realistic. You know, um, there's a little tanker trailer, and I was using it on this one and then sold it and got that big one when they fixed it. But that thing holds like 4 billion liters. Now, I could have used the one that hold, what is it, 3,000 liters, but I decided to use Beck's because I like it. You know, I'll never ever use it for the capacity that it holds, but I just chose to use it. Um, the potato harvester. What's the big, um, like the multi fruit harvesters that are real wide that do potatoes and cotton and all the other stuff. I love using that one, right? I don't think I would go back to using the in-game potato stuff for nothing. But I'm also not going to do potatoes all the time. Her little John Deere trailer. Yeah, yeah, the little John Deere one. I had the hardest time finding that uh, when I redid my mod folders. I had the hardest time finding that mod because I didn't know that it was part of that little John Deere Gator pack. I thought it was a trailer by itself. And here's another reason. Another thing that I do, I see a lot of people play real time. Okay. Normally, I play almost always with my time being at 5x, right? And I do that because I'm almost traveling 5 times the speed. Yeah, yeah. I agree with you, Trekker. So, like, if you're playing realistic at real time and you're going 6 miles an hour in a 24-hour period, right? It's going to take you 24 hours. So, with running at 5 times the speed, it's going to be, I think it ends up being like what, 3.5 hours, somewhere around there, because you're sleeping through 12 hours of it, 2.5, 3 hours, somewhere around there. But I honestly feel like we're going to cover the same amount of ground or close to it in one day as far as the game is concerned. So, yeah, I may be unrealistic going 24 miles an hour, but I'm also running my time fast. So, to me, it kind of evens out. All right, where are we at on the food? Because this should be about it. Ooh, the hay. I bet the hay will be gone in the morning. There it is. It's all the food's on zero. So now, do we sell everything just to see how much money we end up with? Yeah, let's go sell everything. Yeah, that little John Deere that little John Deere has some cool stuff in that pack. Little red, white, and blue going on. That's pretty cool. So now I get to start putting together the Reaper challenge. And I thought about just leaving it because I still have the map where I set it up. It's got 5 hours of gameplay on it already. So I thought about just leaving it like that and just play that map. Just bam, here I go. I don't even know if this is the best place to sell it at, but I'm selling it here. Later, Tricker. Hey, Aiden, how you doing? Sorry you got to shoot. Great stream. Catch y'all later. Yes, sir. Thanks for stopping by. All right. We'll go ahead and empty out the TMR thing first. I saw a couple people do this, and I thought it was cool. And I don't have an overwhelming amount of stuff to do that with. And actually, I don't know if that would. Yeah, we'll go ahead and. No, that's going to take too long. Let's just sell everything. I'm not worried about the product. Garage. Oh, I got this. I have to sell the animals first. Alright, so that gave me the money. That's giving me the money for that. Total mixed ration. Wow. That is way less than what it's supposed to be. Oh well. Yeah, let's $1 million worth of vehicles. That's not bad. That wasn't a bad little starting kit, so $1 million. At least I don't have to sit here and hit the button for everyone. We are doing good. At least I am. Um, Alright. No lease items, no owned items. And we are at 4.9, almost $5 million. But wait, there's more. Okay, now we're at 6.5. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, look at the manure. Now what? What do we do now? Oh, you know what? Um, I'm probably going to end this. I'm going to end the stream, and then I'm going to go play on what's that? Fenton Forest Farms. So I'll pour me a glass of tea and relax for a couple minutes, and I'm going to see if DJ did a video on those two mods, or if he's done like a Farm Sim News or whatever. They getting past few days the mods have kind of slimmed down. So that is the conclusion of my 3-motor challenge. I don't think I'm going to use the money for anything. I'm just going to delete the map, and especially with me having another Oklahoma going on. He did a mod video. Okay, I'll go check it out. And so I did it. Let's see. I want to see. I'm curious. $61 game hours. I worked 1,200 acres. Driving distance was 687 miles or kilometers, whatever. Seed uses 72,000. 111,000 fertilizer. I did 68 bales of silage, and then I just started putting it in the silo. What do you call it? The fermenting silo. So pretty cool. I've enjoyed it. That was a pretty neat challenge. So alrighty, y'all have a good one, and I'll be back on in a few minutes. If you guys ain't doing anything, you're stop by, and if not, then I will see y'all. Hey Bruce, are you gonna stream today? If you're still in here. Which I'm sure I'll see, I'll see y'all later at somewhere. I think Bruce may have already left. So anyway, you guys have a good one, and I'll be back.